piece of coaching I would give you right there is when you're crossing your left hand to your right side, you're locking your wrist in a really awkward position. Try and give, so as the wrist is on the other side of the body, try and scoop down and forward, so that you're using more wrist, which will help you with the momentum, and it will also help you get the plane of the poi more to the side and further forward. So right now it's more like this. See how this is side versus this? Okay, so you want it more like this than like this, which is what you're doing. You want to bring the hand forward and use more wrist so that you have the rotation that's pushing it down and forward to direct it on the plane that would be your railroad track on the opposing side of the body. So one thing that I like to think of as a test is if your hand is back here and you're doing the figure eight and you can barely see the ball passing by, you're probably not far enough forward. You should see at least a quarter, if not a third of the turn, of the rotation, like in front of your arm, you know? And if you can't see it, you probably don't have the poi far enough forward when it's crossing. Let's try the 2-beat weave and see what happens. Because worst thing that happens is it doesn't work. If we do this one, the first hand that crosses is the one that's closer to your spine, and the second one that crosses is the one that goes on top. So I think the harder one for you might be where the right crosses first and then the left crosses further away from your spine like that. And what you can do for homework if you haven't quite gotten the move yet is, in addition to just practicing where you're in it and then you exit, and then you're in it and you exit, you can try and do it continuously like that. Let's do the other one. The other one is where the left crosses first and the right is on top of it or further away from the spine than it is. Shoosh. Shoosh. My goodness, my left lead is much harder for me. And then as with the other one, you can try and work up to the 2 beats, but you can just skip right over the 2 beat since you have both halves of it, and you can try and do the 3-beat pattern. So for the 3-beat pattern, let's do the hands first. Grab your balls. You know how we love to do that. And then I think it's probably better to lead with the more difficult one. So we'll lead with the left hand. It will cross, and then your right one is on top of it. Then what you do is you leave the hand that is further away from your back, where it is, and you bring the hand that's against your spine home and cross it so that it's further. The one that's closer to your spine, you bring home, cross it so it's further. Home and cross, home and cross, home and cross. And as you're crossing, remember to move the hip so that you make space for the crossing poi on the opposing side to slip on that plane above the railroad track, if you will. And then the thing to remember is when the hand is staying on the opposing side, that's when it does the second beat. If I lead with my left and my right is on top, my right stays here and does the second beat while the left comes back and over. Then my left will stay there while the right comes back and over. And then each hand switches, leaving space for that extra beat. Now, your hands are doing the right thing. Remember, when we did those drills, how you did the twisting, and integrate the twisting with the hands, and boom. One thing that has helped people over the years is if they think about it from the perspective of what the elbow does. If you watch my elbow do this movement, I'm lifting and crossing, lifting and crossing, lifting and crossing, lifting and crossing. And as I lift and cross on the cross portion, if you look at me from this angle, you'll see it better. As I'm crossing, that's when I push that hip forward. Okay, try starting it with the other hand now. Instead of starting with the left, start with your right. And then in an ideal world, I'd say we would love to be able to get to a place where we can do, 20 reps of the one direction, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and all the way up to 20, and then do 20 the other way. So this is overhand. And once you can do that, I think that's when we should, and please note, I didn't even do 20 there. We, at that point, should be able to try and put the two of them together in the turnarounds. I feel like the turnaround with the weave in front of your body is a lot easier to fake. I think the key things to remember are the first hand that crosses is closer to the spine, and the second hand is further from the spine. And you keep that one, there, the one that's furthest, you keep there for the second count as you bring the closer hand home, and then make it the further one. Home, and then cross it over. Home, cross it over. Home, cross it over. And I definitely think remembering to twist your body as you do the crossover will help make the space for the poi to land on that side plane railroad track. Remember to keep that wrist engaged more as opposed to locking it when you're crossing over to help. I think it helps with we've talked about the spermy hands, right? The spermy arms. The sperm, yeah, you still want that sort of open, wiggly, spermy kind of sensation going through the arm. One more thing that I would say that you could do is alternate which hand you lead with. So if you led with your right hand this time, then the next time lead with your left hand, and then the next time lead with your right hand. And by continuing to alternate them, I think that can help you make sure you have better entry, and it will certainly help you when you start doing the turnarounds because you enter differently depending which way you're turning. Well, then maybe, yes, start with your left more frequently right now because it's harder. Practice into your weakness, perform from your strength, that business.